What's up guys, it is That Panda Guy and I'm here again with another video. We're going to be covering this round of Genesis War that I had, and honestly it was quite an insane round. I will say this, I didn't really get to record the zombies because my my computer's disk space had run out, so I actually had to delete some old videos I forgot to delete. But basically what we did during zombies was we had went behind Val and we started trying to cut them off and also splitting them on two fronts. For example, in our second round, they tried to start walking towards us when they saw us circling them. So we started walking away towards towers, for example, and they couldn't do anything because if they chased us, they would give up mid-room, which they already had done some because Don had started advancing and got some zombies. And this ultimately led them to have 16,000 points. So I'll kind of explain the precipice as we go into this round. Val is extremely strong. They just have too many whales. There's no way we can beat them. And frankly, we understood that. And we honestly felt that if anybody deserved to go in the last ring, you know, like, for example, between us and Don, we thought Don deserved it more, right? We also didn't really have a care to go into the next ring. We also had fought pretty hard in the first round, so we decided we were going to try our best to help Don make it into the next ring. And this also helps because we were both on the same side of the map, meaning that there was like a double hub, so they were able to just take this side of the map. And we had tried to give them our defense stations and stuff to get them as many points as possible. And also, like I said, during the zombies, we tried to secure them as many zombie points as possible. Unfortunately, we could not control the field enough to get both towers, which is a freaking big blunder on our part. And I was feeling a little bit bad about, because the issue is since we weren't able to get both the towers, now Val can connect to this side of the map, meaning that double rallies can go in the hub. So Dawn has to fight even harder to make sure they can hold this hub as hard and as long as possible. And Dawn went absolutely insane. We did our best here to make sure we split Val as much as possible, such as rallying their tower, their closest defense station. And we also would just push the field as hard as we could whenever they started walking up towards the science hub. We frankly could not handle Val one-on-one on the field. They just have too many whales. They had Gonzo, Leopard, right? Like at least like 4, 5, 6 people with over 1 billion kills, just for an example, right? We just can't handle that one-on-one. So basically what we try to do is we try to bum rush the field, split these guys as much as possible, kill any fillers coming in, kill anybody who's late coming in. We tried to put pressure on their defense station to make sure they kept a garrison there, as well as the tower here, as well as just forcing people to focus on filling as well. So we were doing our best here. I mean, frankly, I was in the shop constantly. This is why there's like not as much footage as I'd like to show you guys, because I kept going into the season shop to buy healing speed ups because I literally was running out. So I was trying my best to make sure we could secure this for them. We did get them this closest defense station as well. As you see, we are trying our best to help them defend it. And they had captured towers behind it so they would be able to properly fill it. Dawn honestly did insanely well here. They were really nice to us. They're nice to me in chat. They even named the group chat Panda is Handsome after me. So that was really sweet of them. But we did our best to make sure they could get into the next round. I'm kind of a realist in situations like these. If I understand there's no chance we're like both teams can make it to the next round, right? Normally, we would probably want to advance, but the issue is here, we really just don't think we deserved it compared to these guys, so we just decided we were going to give our all to help our ally advance, because honestly, I felt that Dawn deserved it, in character, as well as just their fighting abilities. They're really good once they get into like a defense station, right? You just can't take it off of them because they have insane fillers, they have really good tanky garrisons, so we basically just did our best to hold out here and tried to make sure we could secure them, like I said, into the next ring, which would also make sure they would get some red merit chests for their whale fighters. And we were fine taking the L here. We just, you know, I just love fights like these where we can disregard ourselves and put everything into supporting our ally. And like I said, I think the biggest advantage was us having our own side of the map, right? Ryle, the main issue with Val's ally, by the way, Ryle is actually very stacked. They have Samuel, as you know Samuel is. They have Din Russ, which is an absolute whale, right? Both these guys are, I believe, over 100 mil in AOD. And then they have like Peter Ski, which is a really big whale. But the main issue with Ryle is they lack a lot of field fighters, right? So I mean, frankly, Dawn wasn't having it easy because Samuel and such are still a beast. They're going to fight like absolute Goliathans, but as long as they're able to just contain these few whale fighters, they're mostly good. And the main issue here is that Ryle has the left science hub, right? And then Val is actually falling behind in points due to this factor, right? And frankly, Val is the strongest team on this map. They're probably the most deserving out of every team to go into the next ring. So Val was pushing as hard as they can through here to get this hub and make it to the next ring, which is actually kind of crazy because you'll see at the very end here, they only make it to the next ring, and this is a spoiler, but Dawn and Val only make it to the next ring, or Val does, by like 1,000 points over Ryle. And it's just kind of crazy because they had sniped like a defense station by crazy swarming it and stuff. You even see here, by the way, Dawn had actually sniped one of Val's defense stations. I don't even know how they were doing that. I think they were sending like rallies across the map to snipe these, which is kind of hilarious. But they did amazing, honestly. I feel like Dawn did freaking fabuloso over here. Our rallies were getting swarmed out. We could not control the field on these guys. Like, once their whales started stacking up, we got obliterated. My hospital was getting filled over and over. I'd gotten at least like 300k deaths on the field this time, maybe even 400k. This was like a painful one. They kept like flooding my hospital way too fast. But we did our best here. It was honestly a really good fight. I had a lot of fun. And like I said, I love fights like this where I can just disregard like my regard to win, all simply for the valor, right? And by the way, you do see here, by the way, Dawn is getting their their science hub swarmed to hell. And once you lose Science Hub, I believe you lose 50% of the points, maybe it's 50% of the points that are on top of it. So you see the 40,000 on top that was accumulated over this whole period. Once Val knocks them out of it, they get at least half of those. They do end up losing it. I didn't show it on video because I was in chat and I just never got it on video. But they do end up losing it. And the thing is, Dawn had such a huge advantage that it didn't matter, right? They were already at 100k plus points, whereas the other two teams are at like 70k or something. So it really didn't matter what happened at this point. It just depended on who of the two teams on the other allied teams were going to make it through. And you do see here, Val goes crazy trying to storm this defense station, trying to, I guess, secure their position and whatnot. And they do manage to get it. I just got to say GG's, man. It was GG's to everybody around. Everybody gave their all. This was a really good fight. And it was very satisfying. Thank you to Val for being really kind. They were really nice, and I just had really good chats with them. And maybe if we get to ally them another time, that'll be amazing. That being said, I do appreciate you guys for watching as always. I'll actually upload my first round as well because that was a really good round as well. Plus, the leader of our Allied Alliance was really chill. They donated us 2,000 gold and they were like, thank you guys for your effort. Da-da-da-da-da. I hope this shows our appreciation. And just really nice guys all around. I really enjoyed this Genesis War so far, and we have one more round to go. So, wish me luck. Thank you guys. You guys have a great day or night though, and I'll see you guys in the next video. That is about it. Peace out.